Welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm your host, AJ Dean, and I have the wonderful and brilliant actor and comedian, Paul Vato, as my co-host. Hi, Paul. How are you today?
I am wonderful and just so excited to see you and see our guest, Debra, because it's been a long time that I think we've been friends on Clubhouse, and now to actually do this is finally, it's fantastic. So I'm excited, AJ, very excited.
Isn't it phenomenal? You know, I'm so happy. We have Debra Wootton here today, all the way from Greece. And Debra Wootton is a film and TV producer. She is known for Secret Wing in 2016, Mr. Plastomime in 2014, and One Girl in 2018. And we want to give a warm welcome to one of our favorites, Debra Wootton. Hello, Debra. How are you doing today?
Hello to the two of you. It's great to see you face to face after well, we've all become like a Clubhouse family, haven't we, over the last year?
Yes, we have. And you're looking absolutely gorgeous. I love your red hair. It's beautiful. And it might be around 8 p.m. there in Greece. Is that right?
Yes, it's just past, it's coming up to 10 past 8 in the evening here now.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I have a few questions that I wanted to ask you. How is it right now in Greece? How is the production? Do you work in production there, or is it mainly with Pinewood Studios in England, Debra?
Well, I live in Greece and our company, Weber Group, is based in Pinewood Studios in the UK. We have done international productions, so as long as we have good communications, we can basically be anywhere. We started working remotely back in 2012, so we were ahead of the curve when it came to the pandemic, thankfully. However, we are just purchasing an option for a Greek children's book here in Greece, and we will be setting up a new animation studio to facilitate that production here in Greece. So lots of exciting stuff going on here in Greece at the moment.
Congratulations. This is very exciting news, isn't it, Paul?
100%. And of course, I have questions about Greece. I don't know if we can go in that direction or not,
yes.
AJ.
Go ahead.
But my first mentor was a Greek gentleman, Nicholas Papanikolaou, slightly Greek. So I have this great affinity for the Greek culture and the Greek people. And just even thinking about Nick, I get a little emotional. But why Greece? I've always wanted to visit, and I know a few. Of course, I know the bad words. That's a given. But tekanias and hello and efharisto, thank you. But more importantly, I did learn all the bad words. But why Greece, Debra?
Well, I studied with a young lady when I did my degree as an animation specialist. There was a young lady, we got to know each other very well. And then over the years, we kept in touch and I'd come over and visit. And, unfortunately, I suffered very, very badly with arthritis and needed a better climate than the UK. Because we were already working remotely, I was thinking of something South Mediterranean, and my friend's mother took me into Greece. So, and I just love it here. And we have been here 6 years in May. So wow. It's our forever home.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I hope that I'm putting together a little tour where I want to meet people that I've only met through social audio, specifically social audio, but social media in general, that I've never met in real life. So definitely Greece is on there. So maybe I'll get a chance to come by and say hello.
Well, you definitely will, because later, because I have seen some of the questions you'd like to ask me, and one of them is what I'm doing next, and that is part of it, and I expect you to be there.
Okay. I'm saying yes before I even find out what it is, but yes, okay.
Wow. What a wonderful invitation. That is so exciting. I'm thrilled. And I hope I get to come too. I hope I get to participate as well. The beauty of it, Debra, is that this is your animation services, your web services, your print services, they're online. That's the beauty of it. You can be anywhere in the world, right?
Exactly. You know, when we first moved out here, we were in the middle of producing Secret Wings, and that was a co-pro between people in Hong Kong, Rome, and over in Asia. So it made no difference whether I was, at the time it was all Skype, but whether you Zoom or Skype or WhatsApp video or whatever ever communication you want to use. These days, it doesn't matter whether I was in the office at Pinewood Studios or I was at home in Greece. So when I first moved over here, we used to go back to the UK every other week. And then, we realized, well, actually, we don't need to be in the office as often as that. So then we'd go back once a month, which is what I did up until the pandemic. And then I realized, actually, I don't have to go to the office as often as that. Of course, we have meetings on Zoom, FaceTime, other video platforms that are allowed. So we will, have those, and I keep up with the various teams in that way. So, we have lots of little plates that are spinning in lots of different areas, and I control it all from the laptop.
Isn't that amazing? I love it. It's the new way forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's difficult for the youngsters getting into the industry because it's having the interaction in an office that helps them to be able to increase their skill base and be able to increase their knowledge and move in on various areas. But once you've got to the sort of job that I do, I don't need to be within that environment. I can just do it from where I am.
I love that. And I did want to mention this poster we have here up on screen. It's called One Girl. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Debra?
Well, that was written and directed by my business partner and close friend, Rosa Russo. And the idea is how you had 4 girls, each from a different location, but all on the same meridian. So each of the girls was 12 or 13 years old. Each of the girls was the daughter of a farmer. The one girl was from Finland, one was from Romania, one was from Palestine, and one was from South Sudan. And each of them were on exactly the same timeline. Wow. So they all woke up and went back to bed at exactly the same time. But how, it's how different, it's like, how the ordinary becomes extraordinary. What the young girl in South Sudan, her education is talking about how to deal with landmines and listening for the sound of the animals, and then the girl in Palestine that's doing needlework and learning how to cook, and she's looking after the family, to the young girl in Romania who's, Romania's got talent. She wants to be a singer and a dancer. And then you have, the Finnish girl who's getting the best education in the world. So, it's quite diverse, and it was great to, put that project together. And we were very, very proud to have sold it into China because, as you know, China is a very difficult market to get into. So we are very happy that we managed to have that as one of our projects that was sold out there.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Congratulations on that. And I love the storyline of it. Don't you, Paul?
I do. And I'm sorry, was this a documentary or it's a story?
Yes, it was a documentary feature.
Wonderful. I would love to see it. And I'm sorry that I didn't know about it. So
well, we can watch it. Everyone can check it out and watch it now, right? Is that right, Debra? Where can we see it?
No, it's with our sales agent. He's selling it around the world at the moment. So, but I think, I'll have a quiet word with Rosa and see if we can send you a screener.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Wonderful.
How exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Am I included as well, Debra, in that? I hope so.
Oh, maybe. What do you reckon, Paul?
Well, you know what? Send it to me, and then I'll rent it to AJ.
Yeah, I think it's worth at least a coffee and a muffin, don't you think?
I think so. I think so, 100%. We could also get together. There's a new app for the 30-second app show here called, and I don't know if you're on it yet, Deborah, but it's called Connect.club, where it's kind of like in the metaverse, but you have access to almost like Zoom. You have access to a full screen, so you can actually screen it, and people from all over the world can sit in this room and actually share a screen. If you tap it, it fills up your whole phone. So we could always, I don't know if you're familiar with
we have to be careful we don't go stepping on the distributor's toes.
that.
So, you know, we have to wait for that to do its cycle. And, you know, because it's got like an educational aspect to it.
I see.
You know, it did really well on the festival market. We won quite a few awards on it. So it's been a really good piece. And I think one of the things that Rose and I really enjoyed is we did a Zoom into a cinema in Canada that screened it for a cinema full of sort of 12 to 14-year-olds. Now, the film itself, we didn't want to dub it or have, you know, someone speaking over the film and narrating it. So it's all in the voices of the girls themselves. So it was in 4 different languages with subtitles. And, you know, to see the excitement and the questions that came out of those kids in Canada was just amazing. So, you know, it's great to have a project that is multicultural, that the kids really get behind. It's great to see.
Whose idea was it between you and Rose? You guys came up with this concept?
Rosa wrote it. Rosa wrote it and directed it. I get to do, you know, as a producer, you get to do all the fun stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Speaking of fun stuff, I wanted to ask you, Deborah, how did you get in to be a film and TV producer? What was your breakthrough or the build-up, your education? Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Late 1990s, I was into everything to do with the internet. And that's where the brand name Webra was established, because I used to do everyone's web stuff. So they call me Webra rather than Deborah. And then when the bubble burst, I went back to university to do a degree as a digital animation specialist. And while I was at university, I was invited to apply for the SPEED program, which is Student Entrepreneurs in Education. So I don't know where the P comes in. It's been a long time. So that was back in 2007. And then I moved into Pinewood Studios in my second year of my degree and set up Webra Multimedia. And we would do things like, you know, people's websites and short animations and those sort of things. So that's how I came into the industry. And then because I'm quite organized and I facilitate quite well, I was invited to produce on a film. And I went to Italy, and that's where I met my friend and business partner, Rosa. Oh. So, and then, you know, we've just done various things as we've gone along. I sort of get approached with a lot of projects, but, you know, we have to sort of be very, very careful about the bandwidth that we have to be able to cope with any that are added to the slate, really.
Absolutely. And go ahead, Paul, sorry.
No, and my question was about Pinewood Studios, because that's come up a few times, and I know the name, but there's an interesting history there, is there not? Is Pinewood Studios well known in film, or in the UK at least?
Okay.
It's like the number one, right, Deborah?
Yeah, it kind of makes Pinewood Studios kind of make some of the biggest blockbuster movies in the world. I don't. They're based at Pinewood. We have a lot of people, you know, if you think of Pinewood Studios is like an industrial estate for filmmakers. Mm-hmm. So Pinewood Studios have lots of various stages, and then there's lots of businesses like myself that offer services to other people that come on site. So, and productions that come on site. So there's also convenient. TV studios. Sorry?
So it's convenient for your business to be located in their complex within their Wonderful. Okay.
We're very fortunate because our offices are the iconic old entrance, which is called Double Lodge. So if you see the Marilyn Monroe film and you see the Tudor looking house with the black and white, that's the Weber offices there.
Oh, isn't
Wow.
that amazing?
Such history. That's amazing. So thank you for sharing that, because I know people that are watching or listening might have heard it, but don't know the rich history.
Yeah, Pinewood Studios started, I think, just over 80 years ago, and they did some of the classics, like all the Carry On films. Do you remember those? So they did all of those, and they've started and they've grown and they've grown. I think if I name just a few, like the majority of the Harry Potters were filmed there, and Star Wars and Batman's and Robin Hood's and Muppet Capers and
List
Bond
goes
films.
on and on.
There's a stage called the 007 stage where all the Bond films are done.
I was going to say Bond.
So this is why I'm sort
it.
of like,
Yeah.
you know, there is space outside of America, Paul. We do know this. We just, although, they have done Pinewood in various sections of the world as well. So they are expanding their brand into other countries. So maybe you would have heard of them next time.
I really, no. In all honesty, I remember it must have been a documentary on the 007 franchise, and that being very iconic. I didn't realize that they had a stage, but I knew that some of the major films had been filmed there. This was more for the people that don't know. I remember hearing, just because I'm such a big fan of the 007 franchise, that's where the name, I remember that's who produced them, or that's where they were filmed, at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pinewood is classic. And we just want to say thank you, Pinewood, for producing all those amazing motion pictures. And speaking of exciting things as well, I wanted to shift gears a little bit and talk about the 529 Club that you have, Debra, on Clubhouse, and how can creatives be a part of that? Over to you, Debra.
Well, the 5 to 9 Club started in Pinewood Studios back in 2009. As I said, I'm known for being a facilitator, and anyone that knows Pinewood knows that the bar closes at 3:00 in the afternoon, which is great if you've got time at lunchtime to pop into the bar and do a bit of networking, but we didn't always have the time. So I organized it with some friends, Trisha Litchfield and Mark Wahlberg, I think his name was, that was head of the catering at the time. And we started it back in 2009, the first Thursday of every month. So they would keep things open, and we would organize speakers to come and do little presentations, and you'd have creative people that would come and do singing or performing. So it was just a case of everyone in the industry sort of like cross-pollinating. And it was great because, I was at one of these sessions once. I had a director who had a short that wanted doing, and we were able to organize the editor and the DOP and the art director and everything by the end of the meeting. So, the 5 to 9 Club grew and grew, and we've done various summits with having presentations from industry experts telling various things to help people in the industry. And then it is a year ago this week, we set up the 5 to 9 Club on Clubhouse, because of course during the pandemic we had to stop doing live. I think our last one was the beginning of March 2020, and we do Zoom get-togethers and keep in touch, and we have a very vibrant community on Facebook. And a year on, we are sat with 8.5 thousand members on Clubhouse. So I am very, very happy with the community that we've built up on there as well.
Yes, this is so important because I'm a part of that group on Facebook, and I want for support and just, being community that you have created. It's so important in today's world. So thank you, Thank you so much, Deborah.
Yeah, well, we have a collective of creatives. We have various things that we do both on Clubhouse and off Clubhouse and in real life with our members. So we have table reads for screenwriters, for them to have some real actors playing their parts, and so they can listen to it and see the rhythm. Because when a writer is writing, of course, they're on their own, really, and sometimes what they write on the page doesn't necessarily come off the page or can be said as easily as it's read in the head. So having them being read and then the actors giving feedback at the end of the workshops, they've been very, very helpful. And there's people that have been able to take their projects further because of that process. We have the actors workshops, which we do both for the UK and the American Times. As you know, we do that at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. New York, and 11 a.m. in LA. And then on a Wednesday night, it's moved to 9 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 6 p.m. on the West Coast and 2 a.m. in the UK, and oh my lord, 4 a.m. here in Greece. So I don't tend to come into that one very often. So and then we do things like we've also, I don't know, we will be celebrating this Thursday on Clubhouse the first year, and in that year we've done a voiceover contest, and the winner, we got a contract with the voiceover agent. Wow. And then we did a musical theatre contest, and the winner got mentoring by some of the top industry professionals. And then we did the same for the monologue slam. And then, of course, we've also done the audio plays. So, we kind of keep them all busy. I would say I keep them out of trouble, but I don't know whether I can do that.
I love it. In fact, I've had the honor and pleasure of participating in your actors workshop, reading with you and Laura McKee and Bob Daniel, just amazing group of professionals. I just want to thank you for that. So much fun. Paul, we'd love to have you join in. You'd be great at it, wouldn't he, Deborah?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's great. The people come up, and it's basically to help actors with their audition skills, because what happens is they learn their script and everything else, and then they come and the director goes, I'd like you to try for this part. So they have to read something cold, not necessarily with someone that they've rehearsed with before, and then take the feedback from someone directing them saying, try it like this, I like that, and just allowing them to flex those acting muscles and help them, have something, additional skills in their back pocket.
It's a great support system. Thank you, Deborah, for that. And Paul, over to you. Do you want to ask any questions? Over to you, Paul.
No, I want to say thank you, coming from also both as a business owner and as an actor. I'm sure that some people might think, well, what does all this cost? But you guys are so generous with your time that you're doing this, I think, out of the kindness of your heart, because thank you.
We don't charge for the classes. We don't charge for the table reads. It's about supporting the community, coming together.
And it's very much appreciated as an actor to even have those resources, because, a lot of times you can be a fantastic actor, but not be a strong person who auditions, or vice versa. You might be great at auditions, but then not a strong actor. So I always encourage people that are getting into the industry or are in the industry, there's always the training. So thank you for making these rooms on Clubhouse available. So thank you.
Yeah, well, we're happy little campers helping out the community.
I remember all those events that you've mentioned. I remember the voiceover one, the singing competition. I'm not a singer, but it was exciting to see the competition go week after week, and then you guys, awarding somebody with the representation. I mean, that's huge, because it's not an easy thing to accomplish.
Yeah, it's a case of, we used our connections saying, would you be interested in helping? And, you know, the majority of time, the majority of people like to give back to the community.
Yeah.
You know, I think Bob always says a rising tide brings up many boats, something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, so we're just out to, you know, we're having fun helping other people.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's so great to be of service. And I love that about you, Debra. And you're the same way, Paul. I did want to switch it up a little bit and ask you, Debra, what services do you provide at the Webra Group?
Well, Webra Group, it started as Webra Multimedia. As I said a little earlier, I started off as Webra because of all the web coding and that I did in the 90s. So, of course, when I established the business in 2007, I thought, you know, why not go with the brands that, you know, people have given me? So, but how do people know what we do? So that's when I started with Webra Multimedia. And then, of course, as I've been asked to do more and more things as a producer, we thought it was best to set it up as Webra Productions. And then, of course, you know, Webra Animation. So then it was set up as a group. So we have, you know, production services, both live action, documentary and animation between our teams, because there is more than just me. You know, I always say, you know, it takes many fingers to make a hand. So, you know, we're all working together, and then we either create our own productions or we offer production services for those that don't have their own art department and don't have their own social media stroke web marketing
Web design,
teams.
print, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so
Yeah.
the thing was, we wanted to be like a one-stop shop, because a lot of clients, when they come with an IP, they, you know, they don't want to go through the process of going to sit with the web designer and going through all of how they want it to, the look and feel, then going to the print artist and then them deciding the look and feel, because a lot of it is using the same or similar softwares. So it allows you to cross-pollinate those graphics over the various things. We do motion graphics, we do animation, both 2D and 3D, not touch stop frame animation. I've exec produced on one, Mr. Plastermime, which, you know, Daniel did a fantastic job of directing. And
I saw a little bit of it. It's wonderful.
it is, you know, and that, you know, I think it was only a few minutes long, but it like took 18 months. Like, you know, as an animator, I'm patient and not that patient. So yeah, I'll support it, but I don't necessarily, but I think I have enough plates that we're spinning without needing to go down that particular avenue.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Debra. Have you worked with any celebrities that you are fond of or admire?
Yeah, the thing is I've worked with various people that would be household names, say here in the UK, I say here in the UK or in Europe, but not necessarily known names over there. So to me, you know, a lot of the people I work with who have been household names in various decades, yeah, they've been lovely to work with. I'm not going to mention any names. I think I think for me, what I found a lot of the time is that the people themselves are absolutely lovely, but it can be really an uphill struggle sometimes with their entourage.
Ah, yes, very good answer. Well said. And I completely agree with you on that. I did want to ask you, can you share any secrets of the industry?
Oh, I think the number one thing to remember as a secret to this industry is remember it's a business. You know, people, you know, I always say we don't go forward to our finances until what I call Dragon Den, or what you call Shark Tank, I think you call it,
Yeah.
Shark Tank ready. The example I always use is, if I go into Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and, I'm making the best sausages you've ever tasted in your life, and I'm trying to sell them, and the dragons ask, or the sharks ask, well, where are you at with your project? And I'm like, oh, well, my auntie likes it and my uncle likes it. Oh, my brother, he thinks they're amazing. They're not going to be that interested. But if you come up with a project and say, I'm currently supplying Harrods, and I have Waitrose interested in ordering them, but I need to buy the equipment to be able to facilitate that order. They're all interested.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that when you put a project forward, that it has all of your ducks in a row. The amount of times that you get sent projects where someone's come up with an idea and it's just, they put it on a Word document, there's no budget, there's no schedule, there's a long path to go before you actually get it, what we call Dragon Den ready.
I like that. I actually like Dragon Den ready. Don't you, Paul? What do you think of that?
I love it, because that those entrepreneurs are going to pick your project apart, whatever business it is. So you better be Dragon's Den ready with the numbers, and I would imagine as a producer, you have to know all the logistics, everything that's involved. So I think that's such a great saying, Shark Tank ready or Dragon's Den ready.
Yeah, depending on what side of the pond you're on, but
that's right.
It's basic,
it's
basically look at it as a business. You have a product that you want to sell and you want them to invest in it. So what are they going to get for their investment? So, and they want to make sure that you've done all your due diligence and got the best that you can for the budget on your project, and they want to see where they can get a return on their investment. So, I think that's the secret. Remember, this is a business. We like to have fun. We'd like to, create good entertainment for people. But remember, number one priority, treat it as a business.
Okay. I feel like you're speaking directly to me. So I will put my pitch for my travel show where I meet people from all over the world that I've only met on social audio. I'm going to tighten that up before I send it to you, Debra.
Make it nice, all the ducks in a row, right, Debra?
I have to get all my ducks in a row instead of just going, yeah, it's a travel show. I travel and I meet people,
Yeah.
It's going to be great, Paul. I'll support you. Send me the movie poster or the ad, and I'll promote it on my Facebook. Okay.
Wonderful. I love it.
It's gone so fast. I'm so sorry. We're going to have to wrap up in a few minutes, but I'm going to hand it over to Paul for final words, and then you also, Debra. But before I do, I wanted to ask you one more question. You're absolutely lovely, Debra, and I want to thank you for your time today. What inspires you?
Oh, there's so much. There's so much that inspires me. I think what I appreciate the most is when people are out to help people, and I think it's important today as ever is we are all human beings, and just that little ear to listen to someone or to point them in the right direction. It doesn't cost you a lot of time, but I always say that, I can help you to help yourself. I can show you what path to take, but I don't necessarily have the time to walk it for you. So, I'm inspired by people that get up off their backside and are willing to put in the time, energy, and effort to try and do something for themselves.
I love that. That's action oriented, and we're with you. We're family, Debra. Thank you so much. And over to you, Paul.
Yeah, no, final words. This has been very inspirational. Just getting to connect with you again, Debra, and I everything from maybe, and I don't know if you would call it, strategic partnership, but like with your producing partner, and that's what I said at the beginning of the year. It's I opened myself up to strategic partnerships as opposed to trying to do everything myself. Because I've always been a small business owner. And sure, I've had employees or coworkers, as I like to call them, but it's always been on me. And now that I've opened myself up, these other possibilities and opportunities have opened up. So the partnerships, and also the fact that it's treating it like a business, which I have no problem doing that in the business world, but sometimes with the acting, things get a little flighty. But no, it's so thank you for reiterating all that it is a business, it's show business, and we should treat it as such and be Dragon's Den ready or Shark Tank ready. So thank you.
Yes. And did you want to know what my exciting thing is coming up this year?
I do, if you can share it. Yes, please.
Okay, we are organizing the Saranikos International Festival of Creative Arts here in Greece. The last 2 weeks of September, we have invited all of our 5 to 9 members and Clubhouse family and people that we know in the industry. We have talks from Terry Ackland Snow, who did Papillon, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Batman, Aliens, James Bond films. We've got Phil Tuck, who does all the mats and miniatures for Star Wars, Harry Potter. Also Liz Tagg, hair, makeup and prosthetics, that's coming over to do, from Pinewood. She runs Ivor Academy. All of her team do all of the films that are based out of the studio. That's all the Marvel, the big studio films. We've got lots of workshops from some of the top HODs, and we also have some competitions, and we will be, it's about the celebrating all of the creative team, not just a film festival for the above the line talent, but a festival that also celebrates and does workshops for below the line talent. Because here in Greece, they are doing a big push, offering up 40% plus cashback on productions over here. So they will be doing talks to explain to people how to access that and do those sort of things. So yes,
Very
I've been
exciting.
organizing some really exciting workshops and performances and exhibitions that we're going to be here in Greece, 16th to the 30th of September 2022.
Wow. And how can they get a hold of you, Deborah, to participate and join?
Well, we will be, the new site should be going live within the next couple of weeks. But if they join up on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/529, the numbers, and club, 5 to 9 club, all of the information would be on there. And I have another story for you, but I think we're going to have to do that another time because we're over time.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. We'll have to have it next time. What do you say, Paul?
I have time, but yeah, no, we can wait. We'll leave the people wanting more, and then you can maybe give us a taste after we're done recording. But I would love to. You know, I always love a good story. So thank you, Deborah.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much, Deborah, and definitely follow Deborah on IMDb and Instagram and Webra Multimedia. Is that correct?
You've got webra.co.uk is the website. You've got my IMDb, my LinkedIn. You can find me either under Debra Wootton or Webra Debra, which is the nickname that I've been given on the studios.
It's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Deborah and Paul. And Deborah, until we meet again.
Oh,
we're your biggest fan.
Until next time, Deborah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, yes.
Bye-bye.